Good day, good day, good day, good day. I should say, good afternoon. How you doing today? Today is a wonderful day. And today I want to share a little bit of some more my practical models and style in terms of visual effects. I'm artist designer Kevin McDowell coming to you here for Artizfacts Studio Gallery, ASG-Artizfacts Studio Gallery. And today I'm not going to share too much about the techniques and how I build, but I'm going to do a little bit of a reflection of the models I have previously built and show you their style. And then therefore I'm going to edit in some clips and show you a little bit of the back end of how it was done. All right, getting out of character, let's get back into real. How you doing, folks? This is Kevin McDowell, ASG-Artizfacts Studio Gallery, coming to you here again from home, sharing some of the practical models I built for my independent sci-fi film, which I will not disclose of yet, but in time you will see it. If you check me out on my Artizfacts art channel here on YouTube, you will see some of the promotional trailers and teasers for that film using generative AI. This component of the series is not going to deal with the AI generation part, but more so of the practical models, because for myself, with all this AI stuff, I like to keep things still somewhat organic. I'm not a prompter. Like I mentioned in some of my previous posts, I just don't prompt and prompt. No, I design. So you can see here some of the background of the architectural structures that I built for the film. They're all practical models. They illuminate of sorts. This is a recent build. I would say about 95% finished. There's still some parts of it that I still need to work on, but it has the lighting of sorts. Let me see, did the light out? The battery source? Yeah. But it does illuminate. Before the end of the clip, I will show you. I'll recharge it with the 9-volt battery and show you how that works. But today I want to show you more specifically the actual practical models that are pretty much, I'd say, 90% complete in terms of the exterior design. This one in particular is in the film, or will be in the film. I haven't done any shots with this. Some of my technique is that what I do is I'll build the model and then I'll photograph the model. Yeah. And I'll take a high resolution photograph, maybe 4K, minimum 4K. And then with that, I will use the generative AI with the image to then create the prompt. I like to put some creative aspect in all the parts of the production I'm doing. If you see characters in the storyline, those characters are designed by drawings. That's another component I'll get to when I get to that part of the AI section of the series. But anyway, I just want to show you some of these. This is a sky vehicle. Again, I'm not going to be too descriptive because I don't want to put too much of the film out, but this is a sky vehicle that hovers above the city. And yes, this is also operated with 9-volt battery, you know. And so 9-volt battery here for the engines and the lighting that's supposed to illuminate and flash and that kind of thing, LEDs. There's another model. I'll just call it for now Skycraft. So what I will be doing in this series, I will go back and stitch in the edit, and you will see some photographs, still shots. Some of these models, when I built them at the time, I was so immersed into just creating the model, I wasn't about documenting everything. As much as I've done with the documentation, it's really photographs. I didn't do a lot of video. So for these particular models, I'm going back. And these few episodes of my series are going to be dedicating to showing you a little bit of the behind the scenes on these photographically. So I did take photographs, lots of photographs of these models in their stages from beginning to end to scratch. And this also here is not still a complete model. There's another component to it, which will be a carriage, you know, and they will levitate and all that kind of thing. Blah, 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 blah. This is my sky taxi. And again, these two models that I showed you, there's no wiring. So at some point, to make them come alive, I'm going to have to go back in and gut them open somehow and put LED lights in or miniature lights and use maybe like a 3-volt system, whatever. That's simple. Some models are not going to be lit. This one actually is in the film. I recently posted a clip showing this vehicle craft. It's what I would call an escape carrier of sorts for just regular passengers. A lot of my models to scale just to give you reference, this particular model, it's about like less than 6 inches, but this model would be to scale to this architecture. See the background. So these towers, yeah. And at some point I'll show you the behind the scenes of those models, and you can see the scale. So it would be in the city like that. Some more models that I built, miniatures. This one actually broke. You know, I had it fell over. My little Moo kitty, guilty. Yeah, he's sitting there like a guilty culprit. This is about 2.5 inches. And see if I can give you a little bit of zoom in on that. This is actually in the promo of my teasers. You'll see these carriers. They'll take off from the bay, but they don't look green. I've altered them so they look more polished white. And this is close to the smallest model, you know. And again, to scale, these are matched to scale. And these are matched to the architect. So, you know, that one. Now, these in particular, like the taxis, okay, these are scaled to this architecture. So it's a different scaling system. I use a different scaling system because some of the shots I set up, I want to create depth and distance. So I'll have a foreground, a middle ground, a background. And some of the scaled models, which of course appear to be taller, the skyscrapers, they will be in the distance. And we create more of an illusion of depth with using smoke effects and all that kind of things and layering, and you didn't get that effect. So that being said, I'm going to take a pause and then come right back and show you some more stuff of some of the other models I built. I'll try to bring them in, and we'll take a pause from there. See you guys in a minute. Be right back. Be right back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Okay, I'm back. I'm back. But I'm not going to get into character. Okay, I'm going to be real as myself. Yeah, for those who follow me on my Instagram or Facebook, you will know that I do what that's called the Down to Earth Lives. Down to Earth Live because I like to consider myself to be a down to earth individual, reachable. And therefore my Down to Earth Lives, you know, when you join them, I can have discussions not just about art and the process when I'm doing this filmmaking, but just life, you know, because, you know, I don't think that as artists as myself or anyone that we should really be unreachable, but I guess it's private issues. It's a different thing. Different topic. Anyway, so I brought these models in, and I want to again show you the scale. Just as this model, like I just mentioned, to scale is to these buildings, this model matches to scale to these. So this would be the actual appropriate scale. So you begin to see size. So they work together in terms of similar scale. You know, this is a freighter. This is more like a passenger cruiser. This is a freighter that carries cargo. This one is not in the film too much. I have to go back and do some edits and work on the renders for that, for the image. This one is. In my previous video, I mentioned it's a mining ship. And with the styling of the AI, I've kind of altered it slightly a bit, but this was the source which I created. So let me see if I could show you, power this up. And the way this works, again, 9-volt battery. See if I can do this real quick. Open up. Here's the battery. This works 9-volt battery, and there's another battery source. There's also a 3-volt battery system. Now, when I plugged this bad boy up, when I created this, I did create a toggle switch. And you know, for some reason, it's been a minute. I'm like, where did I put my toggle switch for this to come on? Or unless this battery is dead. Let me see. That's what happens to do a live. Let me switch the battery first. Because sometimes some of these things I built. Oh, I know what it is. My apologies. See, he got cat on me. Moo. If you can see his paw, his foot, his back paw, this cat's unpredictable. Cat, bye. wow, wow, wow. That's why it's called alive. Anything is unpredictable. This actually work. The batteries work. This is actually the engines. Let me plug it up and get this cat before he starts going. Come here. See? Say hi to people. Say meow. Say cutesy. Meow. See that? Okay, bye. I'm not kissing you. I'm not kissing. I'm not into that kind of stuff. Kissing animals. Anyway, and so these are the engines. Yeah, thrusters. They illuminate. Okay. And actually, the switch for what I have, the light switch was actually here. And those batteries, that was 3 volts. That battery's burnt out. Okay. So let me take you and put you aside. See if Moo doesn't destroy you. I got to put it up out of his way. If I lay it down on the floor, he will play with it. Okay. Let's test this model. Let's light it up. Okay. Lights up. Of sorts. This model I built, I put a three entry points for 3 9-volt batteries. Let me see this one. That lit up. And the engines, let me get this one out. Just so you can see this. I'll move along. Come on now. We're live. We're live. Live. I don't script things. I do my lives. Otherwise, they wouldn't be live. You know. So like, again, like the cat jumps in and the phone call. Before I get a phone call, ring, answer the phone. It's not too deep personal stuff. I might be on the phone. All right, see. This one here, I got the wire. There's the 9 volts. It's caught up in here, and I'm trying to get it down. It's making me frustrated. Oh, I cannot get it. I see it, but I can't. All right. Well, you know what? We're gonna move right along. We're not gonna waste time with this. Wait a minute. I want to have it. I don't want to strip it and pull the cable out, and then I wind up destroying the wiring system. It won't light up. Almost there. Almost there. There you go. And I think this one lights the beacon lights. Yeah, there's the beacon lights. The bright LEDs. And the engines. So that's that. They light the beacon lights. Let me try to show this last one. And then I'll keep this video short. All right, so this one, and I built this model, oh gosh, a few years back. So, and that will be the lighting system. At some point, I put the 3-volt, what do you call the batteries? Just batteries. Oh my gosh, I'm forgetting. The silver batteries that shape like a nickel, the flat ones. Anyway, they go in there. Gosh, I'm embarrassed. This is real. Anyway, and their lighting systems were these tiny little, but they don't have batteries in them. And they would illuminate in the front. They would have spotlights. Okay, and that would be that. Okay. As far as this other one that I previously showed, there's no wiring system. So I'm figuring with this, I might not even do that. This will just be a complete model finished, and I'll make it as a prop in the scene, where the other ones, I'll show the other ones. I'm just calling them carriers for now. I do have names for these vehicles, but I'm not going to give too much away, give too much of the plot of the film. Let me show you the other one. I'll be right back. Be right back. I'll be back quick. Be right back. Be right back. Be right back. Okay, so here we are. Here we are, born to be kings. We are the princes of the universe. People looking at me like, hey, you went to that song? Yeah, I'm not going to say. Actually, it was a song by a group called Queen, a rock group, from what I understand. I only remember the song because of the TV show Highlander. You know, and I was into Highlander. It was based on a movie. Sean Connery and Christopher Lambert, I think. No, it wasn't Christopher Lambert. Yeah, it was Christopher Lambert, I think. But anyway, they were like immortals. Anyway, all right. So this is another carrier. This one is wired. This one has a whole bunch of LEDs. Here's one LED system for the engine, you know, amber LED. This pops open. I had a lighting system for here, but this is gonna be a rear engine. And this one pops open, and again to scale so you can see. It's a pilot, you know, and underneath, I have hidden the wires for the 9-volt. And I could put the 9-volt in place, and I'll use something like some Velcro to hold it in place. And then with the Velcro, okay, those are the rear ends, those rear lights, rear hazard lights. And spotlights, or I should say, you know, frontal lights. And I have a different lighting system. And the reason why I did that way again, so that way when I create the shot, if the vehicle is parked, it doesn't need the engines. And I can still light it up. And then these were interior lights, you know, and exterior lights. Those are LED filaments, flexible LED filaments. I got them on Amazon. They weren't that expensive, a few dollars, and you get like maybe 5, 6 of them, something like that. And they're really reasonable because you get them in certain lengths, like 104 centimeters, 80 centimeters. Some are more, some are, like those are flexible, and you have the ones that are not flexible, and they're about maybe an inch. And you can use them for all kinds of model work, that kind of thing. All right, so let me get this out of the way. And I think that's going to be it for this episode. Again, it's a 2-pilot vehicle. Okay, and that is that. At some point, I think I want to redesign this because I guess for me, getting the batteries in, and being able to close this little thing here. I had a system of how I designed this. So I'm fudging with it. And that would go down like that. Click. It doesn't really lock in place. I gotta build a mechanism that locks it in place. Click. Maybe I'll put some acetate, you know, acrylic for windows. And that is that, people. And I hope you enjoyed this episode of ASG-Artizfacts Studio Gallery, practical model building. I'm going to, in the edit, show you some of the clips of the actual scenes of those vehicles, those crafts and stuff, and some of the architecture within the storyline. All right, peace. No chicken grease. Y'all got to be safe. Check you out next time. All right, Moo, let's go. Come on. Moo, moo, kitty. He wants to sit now. Now he wants to sit next to the light. This is live. Give me. Come on, say bye. Say wow, wow, wow. Say bye. Wow, 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 wow. Come on, let's go, cat. He's spoiled. I just sit back and. Now you want to give me a fit? Kiss, kiss. Kiss the ring. Kiss the ring. Anyway, peace. Y'all have a good one.